Who could I trust? Shit, I don't know. Bitches be flaking, these niggas hoes. Niggas was talking what they was gonna do to a nigga when I saw them niggas froze. Boy, I had dreams of a Chevy, but now I see me in the roads. Folks to knock, I'm the fucking greatest. Bitch, I made it, that's to all my haters. Who could I trust? Shit, I don't know. Bitches be flaking, these niggas hoes. Niggas was talking what they was gonna do to a nigga when I saw them niggas froze. Boy, I had dreams of a Chevy, but now I see me in the roads. Folks to knock, I'm the fucking greatest. Bitch, I made it, that's to all my haters. I counted on you and you flaked on me. I told you I love you, you hated on me. I was just grinding into the money, laughing at niggas, you niggas funny. But play no games with me, know I bang, nigga. Yeah, I changed, but the same nigga, and I'm still rocking with my A1s. All black, 5th Akon. Tank top, yeah, I bear arms. Grizzly with it, I'm in bare form. Born and raised in the Cub City. Self-made like Frank Nitty, untouchable. Now that's Al Capone, I gotta keep it on me, that's my ride along. Flow colder than the Ice Cube. I'm a young nigga with an attitude. Bad bitch, hair silky smooth. Remy weed, she like it pulled too. And I chuck the deuces when I pull through. Chain hanging off the neck like a noose. Dropping bombs on them, nigga, this a new. You a dick riding, I don't follow suits. I got different ties. Never fold like a bow tie, huh? I'm talking 4 ties, how I ride. I don't spare guys. Damn, they thought it was a mannequin challenge. These niggas froze when they saw I. Rolls Royce, I want it all gold on 24s and call that bitch Kobe. Rolex watch with no diamonds in it, that's perfect time and I'm shining. Who could I trust? Shit, I don't know. Bitches be flaking, these niggas hoes. Niggas was talking what they was gonna do to a nigga when I saw them niggas froze. Boy, I had dreams of a Chevy, but now I see me in the roads. Folks to knock, I'm the fucking greatest. Bitch, I made it, that's to all my haters. Who could I trust? Shit, I don't know. Bitches be flaking, these niggas hoes.
Peace
That
to
went
everyone.
hard.
Oh, thank you. You know, I had to get the intro right. Salute to everybody. I'm Lindsay, and this is Knowledge Uprising, and this is an edition of the Late Show. And I'm doing a one-on-one with my girl Shauna, aka Black Folks, 4Black Righteous Home. Man, that's a tongue twister.
No, 4 black righteous folks home.
4 Black Righteous Folks Home.
It is a tongue twister. You can just call me 4 Black to make it easier, but
I'm gonna call you Shauna. I'm gonna call you Shauna.
Okay. Well, for people to remember my channel though, just call me 4 Black.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that then. Okay, so this is, I guess you can say, the second interview I did with her. The first interview, everyone, we did was, man, about 4 years ago.
Yeah, about 4.5 years ago.
It was November 25th, 2018. That was the first time we did an interview, and that was a very impactful interview. At the beginning of the interview, we talked about the shooting in Chicago and how you didn't know it was that bad, and how you were watching people and you were comparing them to like watching a cartoon. And then you made this statement, you say you could trip and make a better channel than them because all they're doing is battling and have this pointless debates for nothing.
Exactly.
And you said you want to help others come out of the shadow, and you wanted them, you wanted to uplift them. But, you wanted everybody to have a voice, and the way you did that, you gave a voice for the voiceless, because you were talking about how you wanted to inspire and help our community and our people to prosper, because you said they were going into the wrong direction.
Oh yeah, so you remember verbatim, man. I'm impressed. You have a good memory.
Everybody, welcome 4 Black back to the show, and
thank you.
No problem. So welcome back. How you been? And I remember the first interview we did, you was telling me how you was doing videos, and you were 3 months on YouTube. This was like the 3rd month doing videos. So you were fairly new, but you actually watched people and all that. So
yeah, before I started my videos, I first started 6 months of just watching. That's all I did. I didn't comment. I was in the chat room a couple of times, but I more or less just listened. and I was just trying to familiarize myself with different platforms. And I was literally like studying because I was in the bed at the time with my foot broke. So I had
Yeah,
all
yeah.
this time. I had
You
all
told me
this
you was in the
time.
hospital for 4 days. I remember that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was talking about my foot though. But what landed me in YouTube was my foot. That's what caused me to be in the bed for 4 months, nonstop. There's an echo going on.
Echo. I don't hear it. You good on my end. You good.
Oh,
It's
wow.
yeah. It's not us. We good.
Okay, that's weird. Where was I? So
Now, if
six.
you do have the YouTube app open, close that out. Make sure that's closed out in your tabs,
Um,
because that's where the echo might be coming from.
hold on, let me see. Um, I don't have another tab open,
All right,
but
you good
you.
then? You good?
Okay, it's kind of I can hear it though, which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. I'll just try to talk slower. But yeah, I studied for 6 months looking at various platforms, and I was intrigued at first about all these people with all these conversations, and but then after like a month or two, I started noticing like it was repetitious. It never changed to nothing new, and I was like, "What's going
Now, what
on?"
what what was repetitious? If you don't mind me
The
asking.
com the same simple basic conversations on men versus women,
Yeah.
the beefs that were going on. Like every other day was a new beef, or the same people were beefing and they were just going back, dragging one another. And then I noticed debates, about who are we as Black Americans. I noticed the debate about religion, the debate about are you an Israelite, the debate are you an Indian, are you African, what are you, a Black American, what is this, what are we? And then of course Pan Africanism. But these were the same. And as you look around in the YouTube streets today, you still see the same conversation, still 4 years and a half later, the same damn thing today. It hasn't changed. The only thing that has changed is a little bit of the celebrity news here and there, and the coronavirus. Other than that, only thing that was new was the year of return. That was it.
So, okay. So speaking about the coronavirus, because like I said, you haven't been on the channel as far as an interview in like 4 years. So during that time, how did you cope with that whole situation?
Um, it was kind of hard at first for my dog, especially because I didn't want to go out as much. I wasn't comfortable with wearing the mask all the time. It was hard to adjust to. In fact, it gave me a lot of headaches, and I had to readjust my moving around a little bit by just going to stores first thing in the morning before it got crowded, and I try to stack up on a lot of different stuff so that I would not have an issue later on in the week and whatnot. So that's what had happened. This echo is really bothering me.
Okay,
Oh
well,
man.
try this. Try to close out and then come back up. Come back
Okay,
to
I'll
it
do
and
that. I'll do that.
yeah. All right, guys, she's coming back up. Everybody subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to Knowledge Uprising, hit that like button and welcome to the late show. Right now we got 4Blackrighteousfolks home, doing the second one-on-one. Let's see who we got in the chat while we're waiting for her to come back up. Quentin Emerson, peace, peace. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Okay, here she is. Let's get her back up here.
I hope
Okay,
that's
how's that echoing now? That's better?
no,
Yeah,
it's
I'm here.
still there. I'll just deal with it. It's just I didn't expect to have it though, but I don't know why it's doing this. But like I said, I'll be having strange things happen with my phone. I just won't be as close as I was before. I hope you still can hear me.
Yeah, you good. You good. We can hear you good. If we can't hear you, I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
anyways, I studied and I noticed it's the same repetitious debates over and over and over again. And you would think after the COVID started that we would like talk about newer topics, but it tend to never change. I mean, they might have thrown in a bone here and there about it, maybe talked and joked about masks and whatnot, but typically nothing really changed collectively. The
Okay,
mindset of
so
us were, huh?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I want to ask you, like, because you haven't been on my channel, but I have been watching your content here and there, and we're gonna
Okay,
get to that. We gonna get to that.
okay.
You had over 500 videos, and
Yes, I
your
did.
channel got taken down. So
Hmm.
what have you been up to? And you know, because I see you was heavy in these streets, huh? For a
Yeah,
situation
buddy.
like that to happen. So if you don't mind, just tell us, man, what happened, how you lost your channel, and
Um,
I know you're gonna bounce back strong too. You feel me?
I'm gonna
Because you're a
bounce
strong
back because I'm
sister.
gonna do stuff like I'm doing right here with you, and I'm gonna hang out with you more and other people that I'm gonna be interviewing with as well. But I thought to start where I started with you. You know, I thought that would be a good reunion for us to touch bases and whatnot. But yeah, I think I was terminated because I told too much truth and I was tying too many things up in a bow, and me talking against a transgender that tricked people into believing that she was a full-fledged woman didn't help me calling that out. Apparently
Mm.
they're a protected class. That's what we need to know moving forward. I know now you have to play their clips in the dark pretty much. You cannot show their pictures really. If you do, you got to make sure that you get their clipping of what they're saying, not from their video for sure, and you have to just steer clear of talking about them dying because even though they think that they have a right to trick people, people that find out they've been tricked don't find it so nice, and a lot of those transgender type are finding themselves deleted. And I had made mention that I don't agree with that, but I kind of understand that someone tricking you in that way and that your manliness is now stripped from you, your heterosexual status has been stripped from you, you might feel some kind of way. In fact, today, ironically, God is good because before I started this live, there's been rumors now floating about another transgender that slept with like two other known people, Ray J and some other guy. And this transgender is coming out squeaking like they do, saying that I'm letting it be known because these two I slept with, but they didn't know I was that. And so you're going to have more and more of these cases of these transgenders thinking that they can get away with disrespecting black men in particular, because I don't think they're going to do this to white men. Do you foresee them doing that to them? I don't. I foresee them continually having a sport of sorts, disrespecting black men. And if they don't understand what they're up against, I'm trying to let them know that that's what you're up against because they
So
don't
so
have to
what?
be respected.
Speaking on that, wow, that was a hell of a comment. I feel that. So, what's your thoughts on how they feminizing the black man with
Man,
television
it's
and
definitely agenda.
social media, just everything. The awards. You got men in dresses now.
Oh
You
my
got shows
God.
like P Valley and all kind of things of
Oh
that
my
nature.
God.
And
It's so
it's just so open right now. Even with Disney and everything. What's your thoughts on that?
okay. Ray it was Trey Songz was the other guy, along with Ray J, that was called out by the same transgender by the way. But yeah, thinking about this culture that's been ransacked and the fact that they're utilizing black men, black American men for sport. They're literally making y'all look like sissies and able to be submitted to keep that money. That's why you're having all these celebrities wearing skirts and dresses and dressing like women or having roles of women even when they declare they would never. Then you see them after they declare they won't. The next month or two, they're there with a dress or a skirt on. And it's becoming more of a trend, a movement that they're forcing onto these black men here in America. And they're making it like this is what we're doing to try to make it better for transgender. And we're going to utilize you if you want to keep your contract, you want to upscale situation in our field or whatever you want to be about, then you must do this. I think it also is used as a ritual. I honestly think that that's turned to a ritual for a lot of these celebrities that have done stuff or are part of something, that they have to do this because they are in the pocket of these people that put them on. And so they're being pimped and punked literally right before our eyes. And it's just getting so bad to the point where I'm foreseeing, because I'm discerning, I'm foreseeing that we are not going to be able to speak about nothing if we do not speak up now. Because, like, I got shut down for simply giving my opinion about that person lying. Now, you can have transgender run around having sex and telling on the fact that they're having sex with people without letting it be known that they were even transgender. So who's protected? They're
Mm.
protected.
So you're saying we moving in the wrong direction, like us as a
Definitely.
people or community. Now,
Community. Community.
before I ask that, when you say community, uh, just elaborate more to the people that's tuning in to you for the first time. What you mean when you say community, so they can
Well,
have
the
an
community I'm
understanding.
referencing to is the people that I belong to, which is Black Americans, the one that's are indigenous to America, the ones that only know of America, the ones that have lineages to this country before slavery even began, and then
Yeah,
after that, and during that, all the above. I'm not talking about per se immigrants. I think that they add fuel to the fire, though, with joining into our culture and making it more messy. I think that they add more fuel to the fire when you hear people declaring that you're African and you're not trying to declare yourself to be that. I think that they're adding more fuel to the fire as far as talking about Pan Africanism. Also, these immigrants are doing that. And that's also obstructing our ability to choose our identity as we see fit as ourselves. Everyone is rallying over around us like we're like sheep, and they're telling us you're going to say this or you're not going to speak on this, and they're treating us like kids and sheep. And I'm saying that we have to raise up right now and speak up because this is the way in which it's turning, and everybody's satisfied for some strange reason being dumbed down. Everybody's satisfied for some strange reason still talking about beefs, still talking about gender wars, still debating while our rights and stuff is being tampered with right now, right in front of our faces, literally.
okay, so what should be the proper direction for us to go in? Because I remember in the last interview you said we were going in the wrong direction. So
Well, the proper direction is like trying to convince others to stop doing what they're doing and start speaking out against this stuff that's going on. I don't think it should just be a handful of us. That's not effective to help inspire a movement that's really going to help us change what's happening. I don't think transgenders should have the right to not disclose their status of what they are. And I think that if we allow them to be protected and we not be protected, I mean, what are we looking at here? What are we doing?
mm, so tell me why you consider yourself a lone wolf.
I consider myself a lone wolf because I haven't been raised by family and I don't have a group thinking type of personality. I'm not. I've never been a part of a clique ever in my life. Even when I was in high school or different schools, I moved out, I moved around a lot because of my foster care and children's home situation. But so I was used to moving to this school, getting used to these people, and then not really getting too close, that friendly, because I knew that things would change for me to have to move or go to another school. So there was no point in getting all cozy. You know what I mean? So I just tend to like enjoy the time that I was in front of somebody and glean what I could get from them at the time. And I kept it moving. And that's just been my mentality, 50 years now. So I'm now a full-fledged lone wolf that prides myself at this point in being a lone wolf. I know before I didn't really like the term, but now I kind of gravitate to the idea that it's okay to be a lone wolf because you can be smart and you can think outside of the box and you can figure out stuff on your own because you're not told to shut up or sit in the corner while people think that they're better than you to speak for you. I have my own mind to speak for myself, and I think it's a good asset to have your own mind.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Because everybody has an opinion, you know. Everybody
Hmm.
deserves to be heard. So,
Yeah.
uh, I see a lot of we could say Pan Africans or spiritual people. They like to say black woman is God. What's your sentiment on that?
um, I think that Pan Africanism is nothing more than a rogue religion like Christianity to colonize us to Africa. Today, earlier, I got another clip. I've been talking about Ghana being full of trickery, and that's what they're up to. They're now trying to get rid of the usage of credit cards in their country when you visit. They want to force you into being a part of their digital system. They have a Ghana card that they brought out about a year ago. And this Ghana card is requiring people that even visit there, they're trying to force you to have to get, whereby you're giving up your personal information, your name, your address, your number, email, your banking information, and all the like, and your picture, and your iris, and your print, all this stuff to be inputted into a database. They already done it to their citizens, and they're also requiring it for the residents of Ghana. And they even made mention that they're going to be requiring it even of visitors touring there.
Mm.
So today, I found out that the, what do you call it, Minister of Communication or digitalization, digitalization now is saying that they want to develop a new Pan African card, and they want to
A
force that
Pan African card?
Yes, let me play
Like
a
what?
clip of that. Let me play her clip.
Oh, oh no, no, no. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
No, it's gonna be it's on my phone. You're not gonna see it.
I know we don't need to hear it neither. We gonna keep it
Oh,
clean. We're gonna
okay.
keep it
Well,
clean. You feel me?
from what
But
I
but I,
gathered, this minister is unveiling this idea
yeah.
to bring about this new Pan African card. And this card is supposed to replace the Visa and MasterCard. So
In that country.
they say they want us to use while you're there and even when you're abroad so that they can bring money into Ghana for development. They want us debt slaves. Let's just make it, let me just put it out there like that. They want us to be debt slaves. Some of the things that I researched while I was researching Pan Africanism is how bad off are these economies there in Africa. And I started with Ghana.
Yeah.
And I learned that Ghana was in a lot of debt with China, with the IMF Bank, and also the World Bank, and also private lenders. They're up in their neck because China has developed so many different projects there and given
Yeah.
them
China's
billions.
all over Africa right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are. And they've given them billions upon billions of dollars, and they have to pay that back plus interest. Thus, their introduction to us to go and visit there in 2019. I knew it smelled funny when they talked about it in 2018 that this was coming. So when it came out in 2019, and there was a Dr. Eric Connell, who was a past ambassador to Washington. to the African Union. She lives in Tennessee. She was supposed to have a permanent position as the ambassador. She was hired on 2017, retired as a doctor, but she ran around with Ghana's president to cozy, right? I noticed her in 2018. I thought
Yeah.
something was really odd about her. And she ended up being fired in 2019 for fraud.
Mm.
Nobody knows that but me. And I had made many mentions about her being allegedly fired for fraud. I went to a law library and I was able to find online the official documentation from the African Union stating specifically why she was fired because she utilized the African Union as her domain to set up shop with using the African Union name logo. And she made up different entities within that entity and pocketed money, calling it the diaspora, youth diaspora, the man diaspora, the women's diaspora, pageant diaspora situation. She garnered all these monies and funds and was able to get close to $500,000 worth of getting monies that she shouldn't have been able to get as an African Union ambassador. But she
Mm.
used that and didn't tell nobody. And I guess someone whistleblowed this Pan African Alliance organization, whistleblowed her and dropped a dime on what they discovered by what the reasonings for her real firing was about. But because she was going around talking about colonization of Africa, how France had done them dirty, because 14 countries of Africa, $500 billion a year is expected of 14 countries of Africa out the gate to go to France alone. $500 billion. So they try to make it seem like they try to clean it up and make it seem like she was fired for speaking too much about what France was doing and other colonizers were doing in Africa. But
Yeah.
that's not what it was. You can do two things at once. You can tell the truth and also be a conniving shyster also.
So right now, tell me if they haven't changed your thoughts on the Black conscious community, Marcus Garvey, because I see you was getting there with it, so we might as well take it there. Shout
No,
out to the beach is better. I see you in the chat.
I'm more convinced more than ever that they're not about shit. I'm more convinced more than ever that this whole love affair that they've been pretending to have on social media is nothing more than a group think, a grooming of sorts. You know how pimps groom hoes, how they
Yeah,
find, lost teenage girls that have broken homes and they're left alone or, be by themselves a lot. These pimps find them and groom them and make them believe that their life would be improved if they link up with a pimp. That's exactly what they're doing to us on social media. All this grooming is going on behind Pan Africanism and behind what Africa desires for us to think and do and call ourselves grooming. They're trying to pimp us to become debt slaves for Africa. But they don't mean anything as far as unity, because if they did, they would be concerned about what's happening in Haiti right now. There's protests going on over there. There's violent protests actually going on over there. The
yeah,
government is in shambles. Jamaica is in shambles. Everywhere black is in shambles. Even the continent itself is in shambles, except for I believe Rwanda is doing fairly well. But
mm,
outside of Rwanda, which by the way, that's the same president who in 1994 had the genocide there in Rwanda. So go figure why he would have it together. That took what 500,000 people to die, and now he's in full control of that particular country. I wonder why. But outside of him, I don't really see why people are jumping around for joy about Africa, because all the leadership is corrupt. They don't have their economies together. They're needing everybody else outside of Africa to help feed them.
Well, they say Nigeria is thriving right now. What you
No,
think
no,
about
no,
that?
no, 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 no. Nigeria is a hot mess. They have Boko Haram issues. They have Fulani herdsmen issues. A lot of the
Yeah.
kidnappings. They had a school that took over 200 kids from a school. What kind of together do they have got going on? They have kidnappings on the highway in Nigeria
On
all
the
the
highway?
time. On the highway
Mm.
by Boko Haram all the time. So they don't know which way is up or down, and also this new presidency coming up, I believe 4 or 5 months from now. If that
Yeah.
president gets, if he makes it in, whomever it is, they
Yeah.
got to worry about assassinations and stuff, because what's trying to happen in Nigeria, truth be told, is they're trying to have it be a Muslim situation state. They want the bulk of Nigeria, the people that's causing all this mayhem, are Muslims. They all want to turn Nigeria completely into a Muslim country,
Okay. A Muslim state. I got you. I got you.
or a country, period.
Well,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why you're
Well,
having
yeah,
all this.
state. Yeah.
No, I would say country because,
Well. See, over there, you get what I'm saying. It'll be in reference to a
yeah,
state. Yeah. I mean, I get
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying when
okay.
you say country.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Shadow Band. I see you.
So
Welcome to
yeah,
the show.
Nigeria is far from being. You guys, did you remember about that church that got over 100 people killed in there?
Uh,
Maybe 3, 4 months ago.
Tell me about it.
Well, some, I believe, suspected Boko Haram or Fulani herdsmen walked in the church and levied out everybody standing or sitting down in that
Mm.
church in Nigeria. They don't talk about that kind of stuff though. You have Pan Africans that's going to come on this channel or in the chat room. You have to keep in mind that a lot of people are paid from social media to be what do you call it? Um,
What
Agents,
trolls? Trolls?
trolls or agents. There's a lot of people that,
Yeah.
for instance, Ghana um, was accused of having trolls there in Ghana pretending to be Black Americans and writing in different.
Hold on.
Um,
Say that again.
there was a story that came out where Ghana was being accused of having paid trolls that were pretending to be Black Americans and trying to get into our political situation and pretending to be upset about this and that, pretending to be us.
Mm.
And also, there was a Pan African group called what is it? Something Euro. I forgot the whole name. The guy that was arrested that was having links to Russia just last month. He has been involved in politics for 40 plus years. A guy that was determined to be having linked up with Russia elitists, talking about doing business with them and pretending to think or represent us for what they're talking like Russia. So you have a whole lot of people that's working with globalists to undermine us. And that's just two of the examples I'm talking about. Pan Africans are not for us. They're trying to undermine us. They're trying to do away with our status as being American. They don't want us to have the right to choose. They want to levy legislation, bills to say you're going to do this and you're going to be labeled and called this, is what they intend to try to do.
Okay, so speaking about that, let's talk about Marcus Garvey because I know you.
Okay,
What's your
Marcus
thoughts on him?
Garvey. Marcus Garvey, to me, he was an agent. And I believe that when he died, that movement should have been dead. But the reason why it wasn't totally dead is because they have an agenda that's been going on for a while now, outside of even him, because it didn't come from him. The first Pan African that I heard of was Sylvester Williams. What's his name? John Sylvester Williams, something like that.
Yeah.
And he came from Trinidad. And he landed in America in the 1900s. What was going on then? A lot of crazy stuff was happening to us, though, and all these foreigners get invited to come over and have a good time over here. They don't get shot at. They don't get killed off. They get invited. And even after Marcus Garvey did his frauding, mail fraud, or whatever the hell it was called, he simply went to jail and got pardoned out of jail and got deported back to Jamaica. And then he ended up going back to London and died. So to me, it makes sense that the Commonwealth that the British Empire has levied to Jamaica, different parts of Africa, and all these Caribbean countries, that they still talk about Pan Africanism because it came from that empire. Remember, back in the 1700s when Britain had 13 of our colonies and we fought to be having our independent 4th of July and how we won the war. So we're the only ones that weren't kept as colonies to Britain. Thus, this Pan African is a form of colonization. Frederick Douglass mentioned in 1894, with the Lessons of the Hour speech that he wrote various speeches to let us know what he thought on, what was happening in that time, who was saying what then. And he made mention in the Lessons of the Hour how this colonization society called American Colonization Society that allowed free slaves to go to Liberia at the time, that was paid by the government for them to be sent there, was a form of colonization then. And he made mention not to go, and that if you could not be successful here, you most likely won't be successful anywhere, including Africa. That's what he said. So I've known about this realization that I thought on. I didn't know about the Lessons of the Hour until after I did my own discovery and investment. I learned of his video after I had did all that. And then like a year later, I got confirmation from hearing his speech.
Okay, now you said when he died, the movement should have died. Now, do you feel that same way with other movements in America, as far as the Black Panther Party and other things of that nature?
I don't even know if Black Panther is really a real movement. Is that still going on?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I haven't heard anything, but if it's still going on, it's not a good enough movement for us not to all know right now. The only movement I'm knowing about is the ones that's just being played out on social media, which is FBA and ADOS and Pan Africanism. That's the only ones that I hear about.
Okay. So what you think about the movements? You think do you agree with any other ideas?
I like the concept of FBA and ADOS only because there's power in naming yourself. There's power in naming yourself because we had never named ourselves. And for the first time, I think it's a good time to name yourself and strip the government of doing that again to us, because they keep doing it every 40, 50 years. But I don't necessarily like Yvette Carnell or what's his name? Tariq Nasheed. I think Tariq Nasheed is more or less a chaotic agent. Stoken's.
Why you call him chaotic?
Because he's causing too much riffraffing among the people that we shouldn't be up against like that. I mean, To say you want to name yourself and that we want to handle our own business with reparations, please respect our decision to just go it alone. Does not, I don't think, call for all the disrespecting and joking and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. I don't think it's
yeah.
necessary. But I do
Oh,
think
okay.
that I think you do need to make a point as far as how immigration is bad for us as a Black American. I think that you need to make the case to the people listening to you why it's not so good for us to like think it's a good thing. But I don't think you have to say it derogatory to make the point.
I got you. I got you. So
So he's
there's
the
a
one
new guy
making
on
money.
there's a new guy on YouTube that's been doing interviews
Uh
and
huh.
been doing lives. His name is Charleston White. What you think about him?
Who again?
Charleston White. You heard of him?
Oh, the one that called got somebody to be put in jail, didn't he?
Man, and hey, allegedly a few. So
Oh wow, yeah, I heard that he's working hard for somebody. But I think he's funny. I think he's living a really reckless type of existence right now with putting people in jail, and that's gonna, I don't know, that's kind of dangerous to do these days. You're seeing so many people being lined up and being taken out. I think that's a really silly game to play, but I mean, he's having a good time doing it, but I would never do it.
yeah,
But I like some of the things he says, but some of the things he says is kind of suspect. He alleged before that he has raped white people before, or white females
mm,
before, he alleged before.
mm,
And then try to like make it seem like it was a joke. But he was like, yeah, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just get one of those white ladies and do all, do. I was like, wow, he doing too much. So he tries to make it seem like it's all satire, but he tries to make it seem like it's could be serious. It's not so serious, but he's doing a lot of serious stuff too. That, like I say, looks more and more like a rat. I do get the sentiment behind why he wants some of these people to maybe not be on the street no more.
yeah,
Mainly like these gang bangers and all that. But
yeah,
you're a visible, highly visible person, and people everywhere know who you are eventually. And that you ain't gonna live like that for a very long time without moving somewhere and seclude yourself from the public. You can't do this
yeah,
indefinitely. He can't do this indefinitely.
yeah, yeah. He sure is a character right now on the internet.
I mean, I like him, but I'm scared for him. Let me just put it like that. I like him, but I'm scared for him. I'm
So
scared for him.
through you doing your videos, what kind of impact you want to have on the people, on everyone?
Well, I want people just to know who I am and know that, you know, there's a lot of people that's looking at us, Black Americans, indigenous to America. No offense to any immigrants, but I'm speaking to the both of us that are from here. They're looking at us as a sacrificial lamb, in my opinion, because everything is going through us and around us pertaining to our name without us being blessed with the name. Okay? Every agenda is springboarding off of our name and our civil rights for their own agenda. The transgender, the gay, immigrants. Now you have migrants or illegals, even refugees. All of them are utilizing our civil
So
rights for
what you
their
think about
right.
what you think about immigrants and refugees right now coming over from other countries?
I don't like it at all. I don't like no immigrant right now because we got too many homeless people in the streets. I step over them every day now,
Yeah,
and I'm seeing more. Huh?
there was a story on the news about the a mayor from Texas sent like two buses up to the
Oh yeah,
street Kamala Harris stayed on. Some immigrants from Venezuela it was.
yeah, yeah. They're
Just
getting
slept
bold.
out there.
I'm saying that I understand that the world is like spinning out of control right now, but where are all these resources coming from? And I think that Biden, in my opinion, is trying to bankrupt our economy. And once he does that, it's nothing but mayhem everywhere. I don't think it's smart to just overload the system like that all at once. But he's trying to make sure that he keeps himself in power by bringing over all these illegals or refugees or whatever they are and trying to give them voting rights, which will exclude our need to vote because they'll be replacing our vote. You get it?
Yeah.
They're
So you
trying
believe
to
they?
take
So you
our
believe they're
power
getting
from
more
us.
assistance than the American people?
Excuse me?
You think they're getting more assistance than the American people?
Well, if they come here, and I don't think all of them can be given houses and homes right away, but I think that if we're being kicked out on our ear or made more homeless and we don't have options or safety nets no more, and they come in and they have fresh new cash that's only for them. I mean, well, what are we saying here? I mean, the money's being preserved and reserved for them and not us. So they're squeezing us out, in other words. They're trying to make our life a living hell, and they're trying to make the look of Africa look even better by fleeing there because of not being able to cope here. That's what they have.
And
That's what
that,
they
and that
want to
wouldn't make no
have happen.
sense, right? Leave your country for another country. That's just my sentiment on that.
That's my sentiment too. But like I say, they're trying to make us the new refugee if we do in mass like these refugees are doing right now, coming here. We'll be the
And
new
it's
refugee.
a lot of places right now, man, where it's a lot of different language speaking people, so they recommending us learn other languages, man, to
Yeah,
catch up with all
I
these
think that we
people.
should learn Spanish if we had to learn one, but I just don't want to put my eggs in the Africa basket because, like I said, they are in need and they're in dire straits with their economy, and they are needing all these other globalizers for food and seed and grain. You know, the war revealed a lot about how fucked off Africa is with grain, with wheat, because Ukraine, I guess, is one of the one importers of grain and wheat to Africa. And when that war started, they had blockades of this and that and the other, and now there's starvation going on over there. There's a whole lot
Well,
of.
speaking of that,
Mhm.
Ukraine, what do you just think about them not letting them African students on a train?
They should have listened to when the Americans were told to get the fuck out. If you hear the United States president tell United States people to get the fuck out and you don't think you need to go, then you got what you deserved. You should have took that and said, "Oh, I need to get out of here because this is my warning too. I need to get the fuck out. Something about to happen." They thought they were gonna get taken care of like the Ukrainians, and that's not their country. Come on.
Man, it's too damn cold over there. I wouldn't even go over there to visit.
I would never even set
Why
foot
why
ever
why
over
were
there
they over there? Like, what
for
kind of
school.
school?
For school.
That
Most of them
school?
were
Hell no.
students.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, what
Yeah,
kind
but
of?
I'm saying if you're hearing American people getting, and I know that there was probably one or two there, at least handful of them. And
Yeah,
if they've seen these people rushing to get out, and they're like, "What's going on? Why are you hurrying up packing?" Oh, my president said we got to get up out of here, and you're hearing this news, and you're just
yeah.
sitting back like, "Oh, big dummy, you getting up out of
I
here."
mean, see, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have been going to school over there in the first place.
I wouldn't
Fuck
have
that.
either. But I would have heeded that warning of the Americans is what I would have did. I would have got out
Yeah,
of Dodge right when they did. I would have left
because them motherfuckers came in there with tanks shooting up shit.
for real. I would have at least went to the neighboring country. I would have told my
What was it,
family I had to
Poland?
go somewhere to
Yeah, the
see
neighboring
what's lay
country.
low or something.
Yeah,
But I guess they were claiming that they didn't really have money and support by the government like that for them to hurry up and go like that. But I still would have made a way out of no way, something. I would have tried to get up out of there. But I didn't feel bad for them like you would think I would, because like I say, if I would have heard the
I mean,
warning,
the first thing I said, what the hell y'all doing going to school over there? Out of all the places y'all can go to school there, y'all over there in the middle of white ass Ukraine,
well,
cold as fuck.
that's part of the deal, the pact that they make with Africa, because Africa of course, gives them incentive to bring their people over there for school. And so
Yeah,
they probably struck a deal, make it better for the gold or whatever they're selling to in exchange to have some of their students also have, free education and whatnot. But
yeah,
like I said, they should have thought long and hard after hearing whispers or people saying I'm getting up out of Dodge. My president told me it's about to go down.
yeah. Mm-mm.
But no, I would never went to Ukraine for school under no circumstance, or Russia. No, none of those places. Ukraine, they've been known to be like Ku Klux Klan like.
Yeah,
I would
they
never
got
want to go there.
they I think they got like a Klan or a Nazi group
They
out
do.
there
They
too.
have a Nazi group over there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They say they was rioting in the streets and shit, and they be looking for people
And
from
we
not
got
over
them
there to
people over
attack.
here now. Isn't that crazy? And they got them people coming up over here. They're already here. And they're not in no makeshift refugee camp. They got them in houses and apartments right now. Those Ukrainians, they got them in houses and in apartments right now.
Yeah, man. They was even interviewing them on the news when that shit first happened when they got over here.
I can't believe that it's been
A
going
lot, a
on as
lot
long as
of them,
it's
a
been going
lot of
on.
them was females and kids, and they was talking about how their husbands was over there fighting in the war and shit. They even had
Yeah,
some Americans going over there talking about, "Oh, I'm gonna join the fight. Take your happy ass over there, then."
I know. Because when they end up dead, I ain't gonna bat an eye because they were dumb. But I'm shocked that this war has been going on as long as it has. Though I was kind of shocked that it's still going on. But man,
Putin
Putin
don't want to
wants to.
back down. Putin don't want
He's
to
not
back
back.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
That that dude right there, something else.
Now think about this.
And he the shortest
Russia,
dude ever. He a little short motherfucker too.
but he's determined. He is very
Yeah,
determined, and he don't want to lose because of his name and his ego. But
fucking
think about
Napoleon.
this. Think about this. If Russia, who used to be connected with Ukraine, could do what he's doing now to his so-called people to force them to join back with the USSR. Can you imagine what Africa would do if they were in proximity to us? They
Fuck out
can't
of here.
play they can't play the same way that Russia's playing because they're not sharing a border. So they have to use media influences and group thinking and bashing and grooming to lure us to go up over there, entice us to now try to get people to sign on to visit there with these cards and these get rid of the MasterCard to use this and that to share their debt. That's what they've been thinking on all this time to try to get us involved with their debt because of how much they owe. By the way, they've been pillaging their people for all these years. They're not going to bless us. They've been blessing their own damn people. They got 1.9 billion dollars for that year return. 1.9 billion dollars, and they did not drop nothing on those people. Not so much as fix the drainage issue for flooding that they have every year for the rain. They didn't even bother to fix that. But they talking about they want to build a Wakanda city and all this fucking bullshit. Dr. Eric said she wants to develop the first Wakanda city.
Well,
We
you
want
know,
a
they say
Kanya.
Akon out there building the city.
Yeah, she wants a Wakanda. Wakanda is what it is. Like the Akon city. Akon tried to come with this Akon city in Senegal
And yeah,
in
he said they're
Africa.
gonna be using his cryptocurrency too out there.
Another
Yeah,
scam.
that's gonna be their form of currency out there. It's gonna be cryptocurrency.
Yeah, he wants us to get involved with that project. Everybody wants our money and everybody else's shit.
Well,
They
you know,
think
he
they're
got a bunch of
independent.
money. He got a shitload of money from China. He had got like what,
He got
six
one
hundred
billion
billion?
dollars.
Yeah, he got like
He got $1 billion loan. He got to pay back.
so
That's
he
why
building
they're
hell out of
inviting
that
us.
shit.
Oh, speaking of which, that Dr. Eric I told you about,
Yeah.
she borrowed. a $500 million bond from an unknown lender. Is there a TV on or something in the background?
No.
Man, what am I hearing? She borrowed $500 million bond from some unknown lender like a year ago. And she said a year ago that all she needed was 1,000 people to help maybe bring up to $1 million, with donations
Yeah.
towards this bond. Bond means debt, though. Bond is a debt that you have to pay back plus interest. But see, she's I can't even talk right. She supposedly got this bond by somebody that she would not disclose who it was. Now the echoing stopped. Thank God. She got it from an unknown lender that she would not disclose. And after a year now, she got this $1 million, and she now is talking about $18 billion she wants to get now from the diaspora. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was letting you speak now. So
Oh,
she
okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe if you hit the mute button when I talk, that'll help.
okay.
Okay. Any more questions so I can think on it?
Uh so I remember last time you was talking about Chicago and you didn't know it was so many shootings going on out there. And just speaking of shootings, lately it's been a lot of rappers getting killed.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
one rapper, PNB Rock, got killed out there in LA
Mm-hmm.
at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and they believed his girlfriend was involved in that situation, but that was just allegedly. So, what's your thoughts with all these rappers getting robbed and just croaked? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, the music now is. Can you push yourself on mute real quick? Okay. The music kind of has been laying it out how it's going to be from now on. And you have these rappers that are dumb enough to give their locations and also showcase their jewelry for everybody to see. I don't want to blame the woman, the girlfriend, solely for his ignorance to showcase his jewelry to people online and brag and boast. I think he's just as guilty for dropping his location, even if he didn't physically do it. He did it many times before. I mean, I don't know how dumb she would have to be to give the location if he didn't know that she was doing it. I hope that that's not what she did, that he had to know, but I don't know if that's really the case or not. But I'm just, saying maybe he did know that she was doing it. Maybe he did. I don't know. But nonetheless, rappers know that they're dying all over the place. And I just think the lifestyle that they lead makes it so much easier for them to get caught up with, lined up, because they're predictable. They're buying weed all the time, they're drinking all the time, they're flossing online, they got all these big jewelries that they're showboating with, and I mean, it's just a bad combination. It's like you live by that lifestyle. A lot of them are dying by that lifestyle, and it's not going to get no better. So I don't know what made him think he could sit in that freaking restaurant to begin with. I mean, it didn't seem like it was in the best area. I would have imagined that he could have had somebody go get his shit or his girlfriend go get the shit.
Yeah, they said that was the worst Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in South Central. So they said they don't know why he went there.
Wow, he could have stayed in the car if he had the shades in his vehicle up or whatever, and had his girlfriend run in and grab that food. I don't understand why he had to be there.
And you know the crazy thing about that, right before that situation out there in LA, another rapper, somebody was involved in killing. What's his name? The one from Texas. I
I
can't
have
think of
not,
his name.
I
I
have
can't
not
think of his.
known, I haven't known no rappers for the last 10 years or more that are new. I don't know not one of them. I haven't even that Nip Hupsy, Nip Hup. What's his name?
Nipsey
Nip.
Hussle.
I didn't even know him. I never heard of him. I've been hearing all of them once they died.
Yeah, and it seems like that's how it be with a lot of them right now, right? I can agree with that.
Did you know PMB Rock or whatever his name was?
Well, I heard one or two of his songs. I ain't gonna say I was a big fan of them, but I knew of them.
I didn't even know of him. I was thinking to
Yeah,
myself, why would he name himself that? But okay. Yeah, I haven't had no connection to none of these rappers, but I think that they should know that their days are numbered and they need to start getting life insurances and stop trusting too many people and start hiring someone to go get your food. And stop trusting being out here like that. It just doesn't make any sense to keep doing it.
yeah, I got you. I got you. So, let's talk about your thoughts on religion, um, if you don't mind.
Well, like I said before, I don't like religion no more. Can you mute again, please?
Yeah,
I've never, well, I used to like religion maybe 15 years ago when I was calling myself being Christian. But I started recognizing things about the pastor and how people were willing to die for the pastor versus God. I mean, it started looking like it was more of a man made religion more than it was about God. And kind of like when I took myself from churches and trusting pastors and much because I had questions about things in the Bible that I found discrepancies about, and these pastors wouldn't answer my question. They would just say, pray about it, or, just trust in the Lord type of stuff. And I was just like, no, you're the pastor, though. You're supposed to have an answer, you know? And if you can't answer it, you should just say, I don't know, or I don't understand that myself. But instead of being showed out, they would just say pray on it or let God and let go and let God. Something really silly. So I lost a lot of respect when those things would happen because I was a part of I think a what do you call it, a Bible study group. This was many years ago, and the pastors wouldn't want to answer the questions that I had. And it's like, you supposed to be all knowing, but what about this? And what does this mean? And why does this say that when this says this here? And they just didn't want to get into that. So again, they downplayed or made me feel like I didn't know what I was talking about because I'm just a woman and I just need to be quiet and pray to God. And that's not good enough for me, though. You're supposed to be the pastor. Teach. If you can't teach, then I can figure it out on my own, or I could just close my eyes and tell God, my own fears and worries and read the Bible myself and try to figure it out to the best of my ability and let life teach me. That's what I've decided to do. And I've learned a lot more by just praying to myself or thinking and pondering upon my life and thinking and pondering upon what I see and what I've noticed and what I'm learning through life experiences of wisdom and hard knocks and falling off and close death experiences and all these things has brought me closer to God with just accepting what I can change and things that I can't change. And I have to learn to accept that too. That's the best way that I know how to do it. But I don't think a pastor is going to necessarily bring you to God. I think that that's an excuse to kind of put everything on the pastor versus what God intended for you with your own brain to
So you
do.
think people can use religion as an excuse then?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because all you got to do is, as long as I go to church and pay my tithes, that's all I got to do. I ain't got to do nothing else. I ain't got to think about nothing else. I ain't got to wonder about nothing else. Just me and the pastor until we get back to yonder, until we go back to yonder, and pearly gates of heaven. You got to do nothing else but that.
Okay, so listening you express your sentiments, it's safe to say you can believe in God, but not believe in a specific religion.
Yes, exactly. I'm more closer to God now that I stopped religion. And I think I've stopped religion maybe 10 years now. Um, and I've come closer to feeling like I have more power because I'm figuring stuff out on my own. I'm not relying on someone else to give me the answer. I'm trying to figure it out on my own. Thus has given me more power, especially when I do figure stuff out.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it. So, if you would like to tell anybody anything right now, uh, this is your chance. So I asked you a decent amount of questions. So I guess right now, if you want, you can if you want to talk about something, go ahead, you can let it out. And again, I appreciate you coming up doing another interview with me because it's been a powerful interview for real.
I hope so. I don't think it was as witty as the first one, but you know, just just where we are right now, I think on social media. I don't know how long you've been on social media. How long have you been on here for? You know?
YouTube, I've been on YouTube since about, well, really doing videos,
Mm-hmm.
probably I'll say 2016, maybe
Oh, okay.
somewhere between 16, 2018. I did
Okay.
drop a couple videos around 2012 and shit like that, but I deleted them. It was just me like recording stuff, doing clips, and
Hmm.
But
Well,
like, far as
you've
like
seen a lot.
panels, like doing shows like this,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I could say well, about good 5 years. And if we
Mm-hmm.
count the other platform I was on, we can say about good 6 or 7 years. So
Oh, okay. Well, the reason why I asked that is because you've seen a lot in the spaces. Can you push button mute again? You've seen a lot in this space, right? And you know that we could be doing an awful lot more than what we are doing. We're not servicing, given the services that are needed for our survival at all. I mean, something as magnificent as the YouTube would at our disposal push and record and sending out information to assist our mindset. And we're kind of like allowing ourselves to be sticklers to the same thing like sheep. I think that the YouTube is good if others help you with what your information is about. If you can get the support, if people can like the video, and if you guys could please like this video to help out his channel. Also subscribe to my channel. Before I get off on the interview, I will go back into the chat room with my name and stuff where they can find me, because I don't know how to do the link or nothing like that. But it
okay,
only
that's cool. And leave it in the comment section too. Like if we in the chat and you're not able to post it there, just leave it in the comment section of the video.
okay. It only works if people work with you with your information. And unfortunately, we're happy with not helping good information. We only want to support stuff that's full of fuckery. As many times that I've seen beefs where people have gotten 10,000 views, likes, and this, and that, and the other, or the viewage is out of control with people that's beefing over stuff that doesn't matter. And we see it time and time and time again, but that's what pays. What pays is beefs. What pays is celebrity gossip. What pays is these debates. Go ask Sinetta with 175,000 viewers subscriptions, how much he gets with viewage every time he has debates. You have people that are making money talking about gender warring, ratchet women, ratchet men, all this type of stuff. Now MGTOW, now Kevin Samuels, now pimps. You have Simple the P, he preaching and talking about pimps every other day and all that. It pays just to be full of contradictions and full of stuff that's not flattering to us as Black people. Let's just put it that way. If you're talking about standing in your square, knowing who you are, appreciating God, your past, your present, and who you want to be as a woman or a man, and just live righteously as best you can with what you have to work with and what you learn and what you discern, those things are not pushed. That's boring. That's not dramatized enough. Or if people don't like you because you're speaking specifically against a movement such as Pan-Africanism, then you become the most hated, like I have. A lot of people have tried to paint the picture of me being a hateful person to Africa. I don't hate anybody. I only hate people that hate me. I only dislike people that are coming from my jugular, and they shouldn't be coming from my jugular. And my opinion is, if people want to reach out to Africa and they want to trust what's going on over there, I just say tread lightly, because what I'm discovering every time I turn around, they're trying to make a case for us to be a part of their debt. And I'm saying that just this new clip that I found today, with them now telling us that they don't want us using our MasterCard or Visa card so that they can get the dividends behind charging you taxes and other things towards their debt. And then your information again is stored in their databases. They were determined 4 or 5 years ago, being involved with collapsed banks there in Ghana. All their indigenous banks, about 5 or 6 of them, collapsed and hijacked all the Ghanaians' monies in those indigenous banks all at once. I believe the vast majority of those people never seen their money ever again. And right after that, we get this introduction to the return to Africa. Right after, China invited them towards debt for like $60 billion for developments in Africa. Right after that, the same year that they got that $60 billion towards the development towards Africa by China, is the same year that this ambassador, Dr. Eric Hanna, solicited, alongside of this Ghana President Otto, who's still president, solicited the Black Caucus there in Washington, the Sheila Lee Jackson person, over our so-called reparations, had a meeting in 2018 in Washington talking about our reparations in front of the then president at that time of Ghana. Like, why would she use reparations as her talking point when she just was talking and visiting with this president of Ghana, who, by the way, his bloodline was a past slave trader? But they had the discussion nonetheless. And that same next year, the year return comes up. Now all of a sudden, they're trying to ratchet up this return where brothers and sisters love one another, and now help us with development of Wakanda and everything else that they're throwing at us. Now they're throwing at us this card and Ghana card and talking about taxing us and all this type of stuff. Again, it's nothing but a lick for them. They're using emotionalism for people that are dumb enough to believe them. Has nothing to do with the indigenous Black Americans who are American. That's our identity. We earn that. We also have lineages already here before America was even built. That's just a fact of the matter. But when you have Africans and Pan-Africans and people that are immigrants that live here, or were immigrants that were from somewhere else that came here, and they're in America telling you to get the fuck out of America while they stay in America, but telling you and bashing you, how dare you claim to be an American when your ancestors did this and had this done to them? Well, Africa did a lot of stuff to people too. Everybody did a little bit to us though, right? The Indian people did us dirty. Even if they were a part of your family, they did you dirty. The Africans did you dirty, and the Europeans did you dirty, and possibly the Arabics. Everybody has had their hand in doing us dirty. And they still see us as those slaves of old. There's a lot of people that are speaking like we're property to Africa at this point. I've heard different Pan-Africans had the nerve to say that we are property to Africa. That's slavery talk. That's slave lingo. This guy by the name of Icon Fire, who was a Jamaican living in America, of course, told so-called FBA guy that He told this Nigerian dude, Kandala, hey, don't you want your artifacts and everything like that from the British crown and France and all that? And they were like, he was like, yeah, we want our stuff back. He was like, well, what about African Americans? They're your property too. That's the sentiment of plenty of Pan Africans and Africans talking to us. That's their sentiment to us. They don't see us as our own people. They don't think that we have a right to have our own mind. They don't think that we have a right to choose on how we're going to be perceived to be, because they want us to be what they say we're going to be, to have them or have us partake in paying them towards their debt. And I don't like that at all. I don't appreciate none of that at all. My channel was specifically targeting Ghana and then other Pan Africans. I had discovered so many fraudsters in Pan Africans. I discovered a Lou Major, who is an Haitian American, who got $500,000 from many Black Americans to believe in opening up a damn bank with him and purchases of land he never bought. He claimed he lived in Ghana and he was living in Colombia. These people, these Pan Africans, look at most of us as licks. They can get you to tour. You got to pay a plane ticket. You get the land and tour. They got money off the top. They save a reservation, money, and then some. And then you go and spend money to eat, spending money to lodge somewhere, spend money to buy stuff to bring back home. Money. You're a money grabbing cash cow is what they have determined for you to be. And while they have added with that, they're like, well, why can't we spruce this up a little bit, turn it up more? Let's wring this shit dry. In addition to you visiting us, we want to make it known that around Christmas time will be like coming to the Mecca of Africa, Ghana being Mecca, just like the people that are Muslims go to Mecca every year for their faith in Islam or whatever it's called. They're trying to make Africa or Ghana the Mecca of us returning there to spend our money around December, when they know that people more or less have money for Christmas. That's what they're working on for us to mold and groom in us to think that that's what we should partake in doing. And what I'm saying and seeing is the squeezing out of Black Americans to have no option, no hope, no resolution, no nothing. In addition to that, you have Ghana, this president, the same president I'm talking about, that's been running around trying to figure out how to indebt us with the cards, and now this new Pan-African card, because that most certainly that came from his camp, his administration. He declared a month ago that he's desiring to get our reparations as well towards Africa, not our hands. No. He says towards Africa. You know why he said that? Think about all the past colonizers were paid money when slavery was done. They never got money paid to them when it was done. They want money paid to them like they had happened before with the other colonizers. That's why he is declaring our reparations, to be truth be told. Because otherwise, if he felt bad about slavery, how dare would he fix his mouth to ever consider talking about snatching up, hijacking reparations that don't belong to past slave traders unless you never were sorry. But they said they were sorry 4 years ago. Of course, you can say sorry and not mean it, especially if you had in mind to make money off of these motherfuckers later. In fact, there's supposed to be some more apologies levied by Ghana coming up, because again, they're trying to move into this notion of us being Pan-African and happy again. While they're getting your money, you'll be less and less without. And they're not going to be happy until we're bankrupt without nothing, and we're at the mercy of being the status of refugees and immigrants ourselves in our own damn land. The only way that you can stop this, obstruct this, is to get this message out about the need for us to speak on this type of conversation and not beefs and gender warring all the god dang on time. That stuff is played out. We should be sick of it. We should be done with it. None of that is going to help us at all. But what we do have coming up is transgender people telling us we cannot speak up about what they're doing, but they can speak up to what they've done after the fact, disrespecting black men and women alike, tricking all of us about their identity while we have to tell us our identity is up for grabs. Because if a transgender can be me, who am I? If a Pan-African can come and say I'm African and I say I'm not, who has the right to say who I am? Everybody has a right more than we have, because we're not speaking to stuff that really matters. My channel is about what really matters, and I hope that people will understand that Black Americans are in threat of being genocide as far as our ethnicity. They're trying to dismantle our need to have our own ethnicity. That's why they're having everybody utilize African American now. Everybody's saying that they're African American. Everybody's saying they're Black American. That's why ADOS and FBA was necessary, but not the leaders. If it wasn't for them, I would be on board with ADOS and FBA. But I can't stand with those types of leaders that don't even have the common sense to get a damn lawyer. A group lawyer for us, not a damn museum. A museum for what? A distraction, as usual. As he makes money and will continue to make money, we still going to be broke with nothing. That's it.
I know that shit right. You went in, sister. Yo, I appreciate you doing this interview. Right now, we have a lot of folks in the chat. So if anyone in the chat would like to ask the sister a question, you can click on the link and come up. Or if you like, you can just type it in the chat room. So if you want to come up, come on up. Or if you want to ask her something in the comment section, just simply do that.
Is there a way that you could put my link of my channel in the comment section? I don't know how to do it.
So I seen your channel. I'm gonna rewrite it. I got you. Mustard seeds.
No, not that one. It's 4Blackrighteousfolks. You could also do that one. That's another channel of mine, by the way. Mustard Seeds is my backup channel. But because most people know me by 4Blackrighteousfolks Home, I'd rather keep it that way.
I got you. I'm gonna put that up there then. Let me share this.
I have a few channels. I think it's the purple one that you want, not the. Hold on, let me find it. Because I had another channel before that, but I don't know how to access that channel no more. It's not the first one that pops up. It's the one that. This echo's been bothering me all night. Let me see if I can find it.
It's the one that says 73 subscribers. That's it.
No, only has 13 subscribers actually. That's the older one. I'm only up to 12 or 13.
I see the one that say 8 got 5 videos.
No, not that one. That one I've been barred from for some reason. I started recording on that channel, and then it disallowed me recording anymore. It said that it couldn't recognize my number when it asked for validating My cell phone number. How you not gonna recognize my cell phone when I'm
Okay,
putting?
this one from 6 days ago. Is that it? Is that the
Yeah, that
channel?
one. Is it
It
say
say
4Black?
yeah, but it's
How many? How many?
8 subscribers.
Is that say
Your last,
4?
your
No,
last
try.
video,
Go
your
to the
last
one that
video.
says 12. Go to the one that says 12.
Yeah, I don't see that one.
Oh man, let me see. How about I do this? How about I go on my other phone and I'll be in the chat room where you can see me, and I'll come back on if they want to come back on the panel.
Oh, they taking too long. They better hurry up.
So I'm about to go to the chat room with you real quick,
All right,
so
go
you
ahead and
can
go
see
to the
me.
chat. All right, go ahead and look for that. While she look for that and pop that up, I'm gonna do it one time for the one time. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in, that tuned in. Shout out to 4Black for coming back up here doing her thing. You know, she's looking for her channel so she can post it in the comment section. Um, once she finds that, she say this is the correct one. Okay. Let me see if I can get a link to that real quick. Yeah, I see you say, let me give me a minute. I gotta go to the channel so I can share it. Okay. All right. To everyone that's tuning in, got it right there. If you see
Any
that
questions,
post,
anyone? Don't be shy. Just be respectful. That's all I ask for. Anyone? Any questions?
guess you gave them a lot. While they think on them questions, I'm gonna play a little play some music real quick.
Okay.
Shout out to Ratchet Wizard, one time for the ops.
Video by the directors. Okay, gonna be.
Wisdom. Out of wild shit. On the phone, talk to B every day, about to go spaz out. Looking out the window for the offset, they sliding now. Why the fuck you keep on calling? No, you ain't gon' slide down. Come to the bottom, I'ma exit, I'ma zip them down. On the phone, talk to B every day, about to go spaz out. Looking out the window for the offset, they sliding. Why they sliding down? Come to the bottom, I'ma exit, I'ma zip them down. Come to the bottom of the exit, I'ma zip them down. I live with my brother, I live with my mama. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. I live with my mama, I live with my brother. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. Robbing that drink on your boulevard. I'm out of wine, I'm sucking hard. Peanut gun, can't pray the Lord. I'ma beat the cake to the judge. Can't even stop me, know what's going on. I ain't even got no option. Had to go run up a ticket. Had to go run up a ticket. Now they gon' copy. Call my brother out of YTC. If I need a ball, you know he gon' drop it. Still independent, the lady keep calling. You know they can't sign me. They need to go drop it. Still in this Christian, I'm robbing that thing. Still in the street when I'm selling that cane. Say they wanna kill me, they got me fucked up when I see them. I'm putting that phone in his bang, bitch. On the phone, talk to B every day, about to go spaz out. Looking out the window for the offset, they sliding now. Why the fuck you keep on calling? No, you ain't gon' slide down. Come to the bottom, I'ma exit, I'ma zip them down. On the phone, talk to B every day, about to go spaz out. Looking out the window for the offset, they sliding. Why they sliding down? Come to the bottom, I'ma exit, I'ma zip them down. Come to the bottom of the exit, I'ma zip them down. I live with my brother, I live with my mama. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. I live with my mama, I live with my brothers. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling. I'm still in this Christian, I'm gambling.
Video by the directors.
Yeah. Who is that?
Oh, that's my nephew.
Okay. I'm like, wow. He said he living with his mama.
Yeah, that song go hard.
How old is he?
Nah, he's about 20. What? He's about 23 now.
He look younger. He looked like he was about 16 or 17.
He's short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess people are scared to ask me anything, but that happened the last time, didn't it?
Oh, hold on. We got to guess. We got to guess.
Okay.
D Calico, salute, bro. I see in the chat earlier you said you was in there, man. My bad, bro. I try to stay
It's
focused
all
on the
good.
interview while I'm doing it. You feel me? I wanted to make it good for the audience.
They ain't right. Get it all out. Finish it how it should be.
Yeah.
How you
What's up
doing,
with you
bro?
though, bro?
How
I
you
hope
doing
you
this?
enjoyed the show.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. You already know. I I love all intellectuals, but you know, we really love the intellectual women. You know how that goes.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. You know.
You have any questions?
Not a whole lot. You know what I mean? Because it's not. I mean, I don't know. Because as far as the you know, these communities go, like you were talking about the ADOS community, Pan African community. I mean, even the Aboriginal community. You know what I mean? Like I'm a
Oh,
Moor.
I forgot to mention that one too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you know, I'm a Moor. And I mean, even when it comes to the Moorish community or just periodic the conscious community, like when we dealing with the masses, I always say the M is silent. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't give a damn. We talking about the conscious community, even the masses of them are sheep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or lost to a degree. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it seems like no matter what group it may be, we always gonna have to have some kind of elite because the masses they just don't get it. You know what I mean?
You
Like
said a whole lot there. That's the realest thing. I really hope that we can prove one another wrong in that regard. I hope that it don't take another paid leader or agent to lead us to the fire. Because we did it one time before. I don't understand why we can't do it one time again. But right now we're just so warped, and it's kind of sad to see all these people like this. I mean, people don't get mad no more. People are just okay with, oh, whatever. It wasn't my family, so let me go back to doing me and what I'm doing, making money off of this. So it's just simple, too
yeah,
simple.
yep. I mean whether it be good or bad, like you say, they're trying to make a dollar off of it. You know, it could be
Yeah,
off by tragedy, they want to make a dollar. It could be off by excellence, they want to make a dollar. You know,
they
no matter
capitalize
what.
more than we do. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm speaking on
Even off
our
of,
people too. Yeah, even
even
our
off of
people,
the
you
death.
know, that's adopted their ways. And I ain't gonna lie, when you say a free mind, I be looking at the double-edged sword, and I'm like, man, a lot of these people, even the ones we don't agree with, they would be considered having free minds. And I don't know if we should allow that because I'm saying that these people with their free minds have chosen to be colonized. You know, they've chosen to be ignorant, all kind of stuff.
Well, who do
You
you
know,
mean by that? Who do you say has got a free mind, but is not acting like a free mind? For example.
I'm saying
He's
like just
speaking in
saying.
reference maybe a community or something. You feel me?
I mean, do you think Tariq Nasheed fits the bill for what you're talking about?
I mean, I'm sure he would consider his line of thinking a free. You know, like it's
No,
just
I
like
don't.
saying
I think
he's
that he's
free
a
to
paid
think like that.
chaotic.
Is
I
what I'm
think
saying.
he's an agent. To be honest, I think that he's
Yeah.
been
He been
paid and
compromised a
sent to
long time
us.
ago. Yeah, he been
Yeah,
compromised a long time ago. I ain't gonna
yeah.
lie, I didn't really like him in Hidden Colors. I'm like, I had enough sense to ask myself way back then. I'm like, who is this guy with the suit on, talking all the black power stuff? Everybody else, I could tell they had, some love or some zeal for the
Mhm.
lessons and the stuff they were bringing. Even down to Dr. Umar, I could tell he at least had the zeal and the love for what he was doing. Like this guy here, he was just trying to like when people try to make sure they be, talking like super proper and to me they just trying to talk to white people. It's not
Mm.
it's not to say they talking white, it's they're trying to translate this shit to the Caucasian.
Mm.
You know, they can't translate it unless they have a certain, type of etiquette. It's not even necessarily truly etiquette. It's just a type that they bring that is European to me. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying the colonized mind, they are basically free to think like that, but I don't know if they should be allowed to think like that. That's all I'm saying. For real.
I just wish that they didn't have the subscription like they have. I wish that people would recognize real and support people like me versus being entertained by Tariq. I think that Tariq is funny. I think that, you know, even this cartoon that he done with Boosie Bear and all that, even his jokes sometimes is funny. But he's just doing too much, and I think he's putting more of a target on our back, which means that he's not ultimately helping us out when we need the help that we need. Instead of pushing us to be seen in a good light, he's pushing us to be most hated more than we already are being hated. So that's why I don't agree with how he's leading us more into the hate sphere of how people are viewing us, and that's not cool. Not only that, but people are still labeling everybody to be FBA, even if you don't agree with Tariq Nasheed. He's like, you're FBA, you got an FBA talking point. It's like, I'm not FBA. I don't sign up for that. You know what I mean? I'm Indigenous Black American. I declared my identity. I sent that to the Black Caucus and to a Attorney General, in fact, in April or before that. I'm not FBA, but they still point at you and say you're FBA. It's like, what the hell? So everybody's trying to make everybody that's a Black American that don't even be a part of this bandwagon movement to make us that. I don't know if you know Brandon of Pan African Strikes Back Again. Have you ever heard of him? The one that's called Boosie Bear by Tariq Nasheed. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I saw that was funny. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, he recently went to a fast restaurant, right? And he seen a homeless Black American.
Yeah, that was lame. I saw that dude did.
Yeah, that was so disrespectful because the guy was down on his luck and he was putting the camera all in his face, talking about that, Nigerian guy paid for your meal. And he's labeling him FBA. This is what FBA be doing. He don't even know if this guy even got a phone to be on YouTube. Most people don't even know what FBA and ADOS is because they don't live on YouTube. They don't even know nothing about it. But now him and his type, the Pan-Africans, are trying to make us really look really, really, really bad. And that's the example I was talking about.
Hey, sis, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of organizations, and I don't really approve of none of them that literally popped up during the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like that's one of them right there. Like all of these groups spawned during the pandemic. Like that's why I say
They sure did, man.
Like, I'm not against the Aboriginal. I'm not against the Aboriginal community because, like I say, when I say I'm a Moor, I've been on the record for over a decade. I've been correcting my status as Aboriginal and all of that. But the so-called Aboriginal community, these people literally spawned during the pandemic. You know what I mean?
So you like power? What's his name? Who do you follow? Is it AP? Aboriginal Power?
Yeah, I don't follow them dudes. That's what I'm saying. He even popped. If you ask me, he popped up no earlier than 2021.
Oh wow! See, I didn't know that.
2020 at the most. You know, during the pandemic, all of these people came up. The only one that was around was Dan Calloway. I give him that. But the rest of these guys have literally, popped up during the pandemic.
So what are Moors? I guess I don't really know what a Moor is versus Aboriginal. What's the difference?
I mean, it's no difference, but these people have made a difference.
No, I'm saying in your perception of who you are, what is a Moor versus an Aboriginal is what I'm asking.
I'm saying Moors are Aboriginals because, like I said, I corrected my status over a decade ago. So before these people knew that they were Aboriginal, Moors already knew that they were Aboriginal. But now,
what is Aboriginal to you?
I mean, I would say you could say indigenous more so, but I mean, all of these are just status refinements. But you could say, I'm just saying the original people.
Okay.
But the thing people don't really realize about indigenous, when you say indigenous, It means to the planet. It doesn't just mean a certain land. It means literally, when we talk about human beings, the indigenous people are the indigenous people of the planet. You feel me? The original man and woman.
Is it more? Is that a religion too?
I mean, it is considered a high priest, but that's like saying a shaman. You know, a shaman is also a high priest. You know, but really, Moors refers to heraldry. So the only term they ever had to refer to a black person that was a king or a queen was a Moor. You know, so Moors refers to heraldry, just like we have to refer back to maybe our American heritage. Like we have to be adapt with words like heritage, but people haven't quite picked up the heraldry. Like they don't care about heraldry. And they'll literally say, we were kings and queens. Well, if we were kings and queens, then we were Moors. Honestly, I'm just being honest.
So I've heard people claim that these new statuses or whatever is going to get you in trouble. I don't know what they mean by that. Do you know, or have you heard anyone accuse people like you messing up your status as a citizen of America and kind of like putting yourself on a renouncement of citizenship type of thing?
Yeah, I've done that. I expatriated from the U.S.
You did?
Yeah.
You're not living in America?
No, I didn't say. You know, I haven't left the U.S. I expatriated. You know, it's like saying all citizens are patriots. You hear me? They're patriots of the U.S. I am not a patriot. You know, that's what
But you didn't renounce your citizenship, did you?
I mean, you really can't. Basically, I claim that I'm an American national. So when you're a national, that's the highest status you can have on a land. You know, like basically we're to be treated. We're not first class citizens. We're not citizens, but we're to be treated like first class citizens. Like if you went to China, nobody has a higher status than a national of China. You know, a national of whatever country. Well, we are the true nationals of this land, is what I'm saying.
So who brought you on to that type of information?
It's the Moors, period. It's not a one Moor. A lot of people would just say Taj Tariq Bey, but he was like the last. I met him before I knew who he was. Before I had even watched a video of him, I had already met him, and I didn't even listen when I met him. I kind of took it for granted the first time I met him. I'm like, this is kind of a snooze fest. I didn't even want to sit through it. I kind of left during the middle of his you know, his speech and stuff that he was having that day. But when I realized later on who I was dealing with, I acted accordingly the next time he came. I was like, whoa, I can't miss out on this guy. He only, you know, he was only coming like every other year. So I'm like, shoot, next time that guy come down here, I'm ready to meet him again. You know, but he's not the only guy.
Do you have a channel? I don't. Your voice doesn't. What kind of channel? What's the name of your channel?
I mean, my name on YouTube is D Calico.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go check you out. A lot of times
DEE Calico. And like, have you ever heard of Crumb TV? You ever heard of Crumb TV?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he got over 30,000 on YouTube. But that's my homeboy. I be on his channel. I done did a lot of PowerPoints on his channel.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to check you out, and because I mean I want to meet more people since my channel was terminated for telling too much truth. That's why I'm back being interviewed by our brother Knowledge Uprising. I appreciate him interviewing me again. But yeah, I had over 500 videos.
You know how we do. So
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, it hurts when they do that. I be hating that too. Like right now, I'm sitting on 2 strikes, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to wait until November comes, so these strikes can start disappearing. Like I'm on thin ice.
I thought you had to wait till the next year or something. No,
man, I be ready the day the strike is up. You know what I mean? As soon as that strike is up, I'm gangster now. I ain't scared to get another strike.
You said you gangster now.
Yeah. But as soon as they hit me with 2 strikes, I sit down again. But I'll be back.
I was about to sit down and be truthful. I was about to take off next month for my birthday month. I was about to do so many different things, but I got triggered by
Do
seeing
you have
how
TikTok?
this. I got triggered by this transgender that was trying to say that that could represent me as a
Yeah,
woman. I just got triggered. And I got triggered that she thought it was okay to trick Umar Johnson. I don't even like Umar Johnson, but I just thought that was foul. And
exactly.
and to hear more and more cases of real people having relationships with these types of people, and they are coming off the woodworks bragging and laughing that they had sex with the latest now it's Ray J and Trey Songz. There's a transgender. I want you guys to check it out. That
No,
was
no, Bobby
boldly on,
Smurda.
not
Bo-
now, but
Bobby
boldly
say
on an
no.
huh?
I would say Bobby Smurda.
Oh yeah, that too. But
Yeah.
boldly on an interview with someone disclosing to this person that, hey, I was sleeping with this person and others that you guys all know, and they didn't know that I was that way. And it's just so disrespectful. And they're using black men as sport. They're treating y'all like sport. And it's disgusting. Because if I had seen because I used to live the gay life, and if I had went the route of trying to date one of these things and found out that that was that, I'd have been pissed too. And we're in a jacked up world right now, in a real jacked up time to be a Black American. Period. It's just a strange time to behold. This is weird. But they're telling us that we can't have an opinion about them being transgender or lying, but they can terminate my channel for saying that they shouldn't have a right to do that, and that they should be called out. That's what I said. They should be called out, and if they trick some man into sleeping with them, they should be pressed charges against or have civil pursuit towards that. That's what I said. What's wrong with
Mhm.
that? You lying, you're misrepresenting. If you had sex with a man because you had surgeries and all that, and they didn't know, if he knew and he got mad and did something to you, that would be wrong. But what you did to trick him, that's not wrong. I don't know what's going on, but that's what's going on.
That's for real. And I ain't gonna lie, just to clean up all relationships, like even men and women should be regular heterosexual relationships should be able to be brought up on minor charges when they be lying throughout their relationship, because it's wrong to lead people on and say, I have no kids,
Yeah.
or I have no wife,
Mm-hmm.
or I have no husband. Whatever the person does to lead that next person on is kind of heinous,
It
because you
is.
don't you don't have to say
Because
any of
because you're thinking that this person might be your best shot in life. And you're
hmm
thinking, oh, you're hearing that this person never had kids before, and you ain't got no kid, or maybe you have one kid and you want to start all over again, and you're having these impressions in your head about what could be, and you're thinking in terms of a real woman, and so you're lured with the notions of what the sweet nothings sound to you like, and that person is not being honest. Now I have somebody in the chat room talking about I had hate speech for telling the truth. Like I said, I don't hate nobody, but I don't like someone deceitful. Just like I don't like down low guys that are out here pretending to be alpha guys, and they really like men, and they're sleeping with
Yep,
women and men. I don't like that either. I don't like
yep,
deception. I feel
yep,
like if you're going to do what you do, you should be honest about what you've done and not carry it forward to a woman or anybody with lies and sleeping with
yep,
them, because diseases are real. People are dying from AIDS today still. That's not
mhm,
fair for you to take their choice away from them. That's not hate speech. You're deciding for that person what their life will be based on a lie, based on deception. That's not fair. That's
yep,
not hate speech pointing out the truth. And that's what
yep.
I mean about when you have trolls like that would go in a chat room and say something so dumb like that. Like if I would have said like kill them all, if I'd have said round them up and throw them, and all these things, they'd be different. I didn't say none of that. I said it's not right to deceive anybody. Whatever you are, be honest.
Hey, I had to come to terms with like basically I have everybody got somebody in their family that's like that. And I had an uncle, and I had to finally ask myself, I'm like, dang, I'm always talking shit about people like that. Like, I'm like, why am I okay with my uncle? You know what I'm saying? Other than the fact that he is my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what it is? Number one, he wear pants. You feel me? He wears pants, and he's not in the closet.
That's what it is. He's not lying. He's not hiding. That's what you like about your uncle more than anything.
I'm like, you don't dress like no woman, and you're not in the closet hiding like you not like that. No, everybody knows your preference. You know what I mean?
If he was a down low guy, you would hate your uncle.
I hate him. I'd hate his ass. Like,
if he was out here pretending to be non-gay, and you would see him with woman and winking at you, talking about I have a date tonight with the woman with he in his arm, you would be pissed. You'd be real pissed.
Yep. I wouldn't have no respect for him. You know, if he was wearing a dress and think he could come around my kids, nah, hell nah, nigga. You're not gonna confuse my children. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna ask me why is my uncle wearing a dress? You know, is that a man? Is that a man in that dress? No, we're not. You know?
Let me tell you guys a story. This was really weird. This was about 12 years or 15 years ago. I used to work with a guy that tried to date me. I wasn't attracted to him at all, but I didn't have money that day, and he invited me to go to a lunch real quick. It was not too far from where we worked. We grabbed food and we left, type of thing. And you know, I was telling him I don't want to date nobody I work with, but honestly I wasn't attracted to him. I was like, nah, dude, come on. But I didn't say that. I didn't want to ruin him, his ego or nothing like that. But 10 years later, I hop on the light rail. I see this big, dark guy with a wig on and a dress on, and you could tell he's a man with lipstick and eyelashes and all this and heels. This person starts saying my name, and I'm looking around like, you talking to me? He's like, yeah, Shauna, you. And I'm looking like, what the fuck? And I was like, is that you? I don't even remember his name now. He's like, yeah, it's me. I said, man, hop off this light road. We got to go to this around the way bar, because I was just stunned. And I was like, I need to get this story, because I knew he had a daughter. Yeah. And this guy could never pass for a woman on anyone's drunk day, drunk day, all the above. And I was just like, he said he had that in his mind, his heart, for like 5 years before. And, you know, his family kind of ostracized him and all that, but he went through it. He's about to do the surgery and all of that. I was just like, Lord have mercy. But I knew that after I saw him for the first time like that, I was not going to be able to see him no more after that, because I'm not going to be able to call you a she just because of how ridiculous he looked as trying to be a woman. I would never be able to play it off. I was going to make him upset. We'll keep making that mistake. So just to make things easier on him and me, I said, you know, I took his number and all that, but I threw it away and I just did it moving. But it was a really weird experience, and it was just like really odd that he thought, with broad shoulders, as dark as he was, he had the biggest nose, the biggest mouth. Has stubbles on his face, and
like the body of an alpha male.
It was wild. Yeah. And this guy is saying that I had a hate speech for Sheila Lee Jackson. Sheila, he must be an immigrant, apparently. Sheila Lee Jackson, unfortunately, I do not like her because she does not represent the right Black caucus for what she claims to have authority over, the reparations. She's been holding and hijacking 40 years now, reparations, and now she's talking to Ghana about our reparations. I don't like her.
Hey, sis. Hey, sis, and like put it like this, like I was speaking on the Moors, right? You know, the Moors had a lot to do with the formation of this government and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot. You know, like the Constitution, we know really stems from like they adopted the Constitution from the Great Law of Peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you see the Great Law of Peace, you know, coming from the 5 civilized tribes, the Great Law of Peace is a banner with just, you know, patterns on it. And this pattern represents the Great Law of Peace. Well, all of the context that embodied what we meant by the Great Law of Peace was written in Arabic. So
Wow.
it went from
Wow.
Arabic and translated into this, you know, English language. And this is how they adopted our Constitution. So they were paying tribute to the Moors to even be able to cross the water to come to this land. All of that. That's what, you know, how on the dollar bill we have on the back, we have those 2 circles, 1 pyramid and 1 eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a coin. That's why it's 2 circles like that. It was a coin. And as you flip, you know, heads or tails, it had both. It's basically showing a treaty of sorts. It's saying that we okay with these people. You know, the pyramid side obviously represented us. The bird represented them, meaning that they flew over here, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But we had a treaty with them, so they were allowed, if they had this sign, like basically they couldn't be caught dead or alive without it. So we see a group of them coming, we pulling out our guns, then they show us that coin, and we were like, okay. And like they probably got to pay some goods or whatever just to keep passing through. But what I'm saying is they were literally paying tribute to the Moors. Well, they have stopped doing that, obviously, for over 100 and some years. So what we need is for them to retribute to the Moors. So retribute would be the word retribution. You feel me? We always say reparations because we, you know, we've been trained to say that. But literally, reparations is owed to the victor. You feel me?
Well, that's what Africa's hoping to do is get our reparations towards them. When I hear more, I thought more was attached to the slave trading people that helped them out with the Europeans. Isn't that those people that were working with the Europeans and established somewhere in London or the UK somewhere?
Some, like the Moors definitely get the blame for that. We definitely get all of that blame. Put it
So
like
is
this.
Moors better known for African then?
Moor means traveler. Moor in most terms means dark skin. So we're talking about some dark skinned traveling people. You know, the real meaning of a Hebrew. How people would say Hebrew. Hebrew means the ones who crossed over. So in order to cross over, that would make you a traveler. A Moor is a traveler. Letting you know that we were the first travelers of the 7 seas.
Do you call yourself African or believe yourself to have any lineage to Africa?
Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was just on my homeboy show last night, and it's almost redundant to call a land Africa. You can't call a land Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like even Egypt means black. Ethiopian means black. Zeus literally is an Ethiopian. Like, that's his chief title. His chief title is Ethiop. So they literally were telling you Zeus was black as hell. So these don't mean places. It means more so people. Like when you say Africa, we know it's coming from Afro. It's coming from Afro. So it's really coming from Aphrodite. And the reason they say Aphrodite is because you know, she's a sea goddess, and that when the sea foam comes up to the shore, the foam, they're saying that the foam is called Aphros. So they're saying our hair is like sea foam, meaning we come from the waters or whatever, but more so that our hair resembles that. So we have Afros. We are Afros. So the world does come from Afros or Afrikaans, but it don't mean a land. It means wherever you and me are Africans, but don't mean that we have to go by their terms. We don't have to go by their terms.
I don't call myself African though. I call myself American. Yeah. I don't want nobody trying to place that.
Yeah, I don't do that. But I'm saying, yeah, I won't do that. What I'm saying is that, but we are those Afro people.